Like I don't even know who my enemy is on this one, yeah. But I'm sad that Misa Hilton is suing Mary J. Blige for $5 million, hard cash dollars, because it seems like Mary J. Blige tried to block her blessings. Mary J. Blige, according to Misa, told a rapper who Misa was managing, you need to cut ties with her and come over to me or I'm not releasing your album. And he was like, nah, that's out of order. Maybe he said something else. But now he is co-signing Misa and being like, nah, Mary tried to sabotage you. And that is the end of a 30-year friendship. I don't know. Is it ever okay to sue your brethren 30 years deep, even if they did a fuckeries to you and they owe you a bit of money, but just for the whole history of you two's relationship, is it ever okay to do that? And then on Mary's side, she's Justin's godmother. Can you block the blessings of a family where you're supposed to be like the godmother of the person's child?
What's Mary saying about it?
Mary hasn't released a statement.
So she basically tried to take a artist from Misa.
Yes. And Misa is like, I would have made money off of this album. I'm owed 20%, and I feel that 20% of what his album would have made is $5 million. Run me my dollars.
Oh, so they haven't even made money off it yet.
She's held it. The album's been done, it's complete. Mary hasn't released the album.
And what's the reason again? Just because
You got to cut ties with me, so she can't be your manager.
I wonder if it is Diddy related.
There are people that are saying
Because
it could be.
Mary has distanced herself somewhat from Diddy
Yeah,
and from associations to Diddy.
yeah.
So I wonder if she's business hat on. I wonder if she's thinking, as long as you're managed by Misa, who is basically in the Diddy camp and, you know, kind of backing some of the, not really defending him, but she's in the Diddy camp, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're in that pot, in that area, this album's not going to do what you think it's going to do because you have an association to him. There's too much going on. Maybe what we need to do is for you to disassociate yourself from her and we'll release it under my banner and see how we get on.
But then that's a conversation with your brethren.
Of course it's a conversation with your brethren.
So I still think like if you can't have a conversation.
But do we know that Mary didn't have a conversation with her?
But even still,
Misa is saying Mary basically throws her out of stuff.
Okay.
So
it's a regular occurrence.
it's like, you may think, actually, do you know, they were collaborators on various things. Like she was a stylist, you're working with each other.
The boots that she just released were with me, wasn't with me, so.
So we're
something like that, I
working,
think.
and then all of a sudden, things are happening and you're not getting invited to it. And then things are taking place and your client is being invited and your client is being told you need to sack off this relationship for us to continue doing business, for your whole album to be released. And this is somebody that you have worked with, collaborated with. She's family now. It's 30 years on and she's trying to sabotage your business.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has Misa put money she put money into getting the album made?
His manager.
I think technically, if you're saying is it okay to sue on a business level, then yeah, because then it's like the business of it, or if you're keeping it straight like business and it's contract signed, then you have to follow through. If it was anything else, I might be like, just fuck you, we're not talking, that's done. But because there's business involved and probably contracts or something, then she has the right to sue. It's a bit, but America's litigious, isn't it? They love to sue. So it's less of a thing, I think, to sue because it's what we do, innit? I'm going to get my money, we take, and who, you know, sometimes the words is sue, but it's actually, I actually need to get our contract sorted and we need to get our money together. And the only way to do that is to sue, but I don't actually mean I'm suing like in the way that we're hearing it. Do you get what I'm saying? It might be the business motion. It's called suing, but I just want my money to be sorted out. This is the way we do it. Afterwards, we figure it out. Either we never speak again or we cut ties, but this is the only way I'm going to get my money. I think it's okay if that's where it is. I think it's a shame. But then 30 years of what type of friendship? Because you can have 30 years of friendship. I've been there. 30 years of friendship. And what type of friendship is it for real on both sides? Is this an equal fair friendship? Yeah, but
they look tight as hell.
I've got pictures of people that I don't speak to anymore. and we look tight as hell.
Yeah.
People on the outside would say, you guys are tight as hell. People might go far and say, that's your best friend or one of your best friends. And on the behind the scenes, in my mind, I'm going through shit because this person's not being a friend in the way that I think a friend should be. And she could possibly say I was doing the same, but I believe she was worse. When it came to realization that we are not to be friends, we're not to be friends.
Yeah.
But people on the outside might not have known that or would not have known that. Only my in a circle knew what the
I
deal
think
was.
it's okay that Misa's suing. I do.
Yeah.
Because for the business of it, like I said before, I feel like Mary may have her business hat on and be thinking about it in different ways. But I think that Misa is right to protect herself because it's a business deal. So in that respect, she should sue for the money. I don't want to say what their relationship was like because it could be toxic on many parts.
Yeah.
You know, Misa could be the person that's toxic to Mary. Misa could be the one that's forcing stuff on, or it could be vice versa. Mary could be the one who's been toxic and is now just like, I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Crash out.
Yeah.
It feels harsh to me for how they used to be. I guess it is that thing, isn't it? It's all perception. It's like on each other's posts. It's like, this is my girl. You know, they have so many pictures together. It's like they truly did seem like family in some way, like real long-term collaborators, even if it's just creatively.
Yeah.
Realistically, it is like Misa really did give Mary a look that she's run with.
Absolutely.
And totally like helped her in lots of different ways, style-wise. It's just a shame. I hate it when you see long-term friendships like end. But Mary, in my mind, from what I've seen, does seem to be the enemy of progress. There's involvement of Mary is now seeing her bodyguard, and he wanted to be a manager, and it just feels like Mary is doing what Mary does when a man comes around. And she has form for this, that the man takes precedence, and what he's after, he's going to get. And it feels like a huge shame.
Relatable content. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I think that is the worst thing when a man comes in and then friends split apart because one person is like, I'm going to put my man first. And you know they have form for that. And you would hope that Mary would have learnt from Kendu.
I mean, goddamn.
All the others, it's not even just Kendu, but you would have thought that you'd just be like, she's in her 50s, I'm not going to do this again and lose a 30-year friendship. I would have hoped there would be something.
Oh, if I could speak. and I don't take it lightly because it is a shame to lose someone. And what I went through with the person that I lost, it's not nice because it's like you miss the good times, but you also reflect on when was this a true friendship? Because if it's not equal, and we talk about it when it comes to man and woman relationships, if it's not equal footing and you're holding back, and where I would say, because again, as you said, it could be Misa, it could be Mary, but if in that friendship someone's holding back, then even if you're the victim in the friendship, you're not being true, which I wasn't being true. I wasn't calling out my friend when she was doing fuckery shit or doing shit that's like, what are you doing? Why are you being like this? And so when I finally was like, I can't take it anymore, they were like, yo.
So
also,
it
could be both of them,
and it could be both of them.
There are relationships that are codependent and they're toxic because you know the way the expectation from both parties is not real and it's not loving or caring. So sometimes you have to drop people off, man.
This is the thing, you know. It's like there's not a lot of convos about the heartache that you experience when you lose a friend.
Absolutely.
So it's like people can be like, oh, I've kind of lost my friendship group, or sack those ones off, or like move on from them. There's always that rhetoric, but actually it's not that simple, especially if they're your foundation friends, to just move on and cut them off. You absolutely can get very codependent in, but I need them. Even what we was talking about with Christabel, it's when you have, especially your black sisterhood, but there is something wrong and you know, there's something wrong, it's not quite right, but sometimes it's fine. It's very easy to just sweep it under the carpet and just be like, let's just carry on because, all right, it's not perfect. They're a bit out of order sometimes, but generally,
it's okay.
We're okay. And you can run with it. But I think that experience is probably, Sometimes I think it's worse than losing a man.
Listen, it's really hard because especially when you have known each other for such a long period of time,
Yeah.
you share memories that nobody else shares
Yep.
with you. And you know, like I've lost some friends, and looking on it now, I would say that it's probably for the best for all of us involved that we're not like that anymore because of the type of relationship that it was on both parts. You know, but it doesn't mean to say that I still don't miss those people. There's no one that I'm not friends with now that I hate and I'm like, oh, there's nobody. Like it's just literally like we don't speak anymore, not in a malicious way, but we're not that anymore. You have to sometimes accept. My big thing with friendship is I expect someone to do for me what I would do for them, or to be considerate for me like I would be considerate for you. It can't be one-sided. I don't want to feel like I'm the person that's always reaching out to you. I don't want to feel like you only reach out to me when you want something or you want to talk about yourself. Like there has to be give and take.
Yeah, it has to be. I think that's the same. And I think the hurt of losing a friend like that, especially when they're so significant, literally a couple of friends of ours, and we were going through old school photos and we were like, oh my God, and there's so many photos of a couple of people that are no longer in the crew. And it's like, God damn, like, And even one thing we never thought about is that, because we were like, oh, we've all got different versions of those different pictures. And there's like filling in the gaps of scenarios like, we went to this and who's got the other ones? And we're like, they've got the pictures. They have the pictures.
Listen,
like,
there's a few of that.
And it's like,
there's some of that.
I'd like to go, I was like, we were joking, like maybe we'd knock on their doors like, okay, can we have the pictures back, please?
Just the pictures.
Just the pictures, and then stab the door in their face.
And then it's things like as well, like if you've got pictures or if you've got them framed, like what do you do?
What exactly? There's all of those
framing,
things.
You know?
That's interesting.
It's a lot.
The frames, you were a part of that moment in time.
Yeah.
And similarly, like there's no malice. I just think sometimes you grow in a different way and you serve different purposes.
Absolutely.
And we don't have to be in each other's asses all the time. There isn't anybody that I would blank. I don't have that. And I always think of
Not friends.
Peaceful separations.
Yeah.
So we don't have to call each other or anything else. But if I see you out, we ain't got to do that. We're not talking to. I don't have anybody like that. It's just even if they see me like that, and I've had that. Literally, I didn't even know we were beefing because I wasn't beefing you, and they have tried to blank me, and it's been like, why are you doing that? Like,
I think I'd say hello.
We don't have to call each other, but don't do that. Just for our dignity there are so many people that know we've been friends for years, and I would never blank you. I'm never going to blank your kids. I will never do that. So don't do that. And they were like, you know what? Cool. I thought you weren't going to say hello to me. And it's like, I will never do that. We are not enemies. I have no enemies in this world.
Oh, okay. No,
I definitely agree with you there.
I just think it's unnecessary. Unless you harmed me.
No.
But I don't have anyone like
I think the scenario that I'm currently in, we've seen each other, it's not been a lot, it's been quite, and I think twice, and there's been no communication. But the thing for me is because I have been, and again, it's interesting because we haven't had a conversation about us not speaking. So I don't want to remove their right to have an opinion about why we don't speak. So there's that. So I'm definitely giving that room because I don't know. I could have done something and they could be like, this is what you did. And I'd be like, oh shit, I didn't know all this time. My bad. But in my mind, it's not that. And in my mind, for once in that person's life, fuck your ego. And you should have come and said, bam, 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 because I believe overall I was a good friend. And I believe that they're in the wrong. So we don't speak. And I'm okay with
each
it.
Other and just,
it's
like,
not a lot,
about your business.
Twice, and it's just been in the same space and just minded our corners. And that's it. And I'm okay with that. And I felt more sad because it's kind of like they're over there and we're all over here. I actually even felt bad for that because I'm like, this is years of friendship that's awry because of that. And it's not about enemies, it's not about hate, because I don't even hate that person at all. And definitely kids are off limits. Kids, if my child saw them, go and hug them. If I saw their kid, hug them. They're like, babe, they're off limits, I think.
Yeah, same.
That's not it. But I just think and I think for me it's a principal thing because I have grown up being a subservient friend. I have grown up being kind of a people pleaser. And in that, I believe that that was my standing on business. Like, I'm not going to run you down and say, fix it, because you should, for once in your fucking life, do that. If you value me. And that's what I felt. I felt undervalued and not valued as a friend at a very crucial time. That led to the reason why we stopped speaking. So in that, on principle, you have to come to me, and that's it. And because you haven't, you're telling me that you don't care, you don't miss me, you're okay with us not speaking. So that's where it's at. And I think that's on.
I mean, I guess
principle.
that's a beef.
But I don't. It's not beef. It's just like we don't speak. I don't.
No,
It doesn't have to
because
be
you
beef.
have a clear marcation.
Yeah. This is the situation.
This is the situation, and if neither party are going to be like, look, we're going to talk about it. I've definitely had that over the years, like not talk to a friend for like 3 years because it was a clear violation that you did. That's a clear line of a beef.
Yeah. Okay.
And in that, because you did the violation, you have to come and patch it up, which you did after 3 years. But I think when there's just a natural like, it's not working anymore.
I think that's where I'm at with
this
someone.
friendship isn't serving either. We're not being our best in this space.
Yeah.
It can be a quiet separation. Like, we ain't got a beef over it. I haven't got to tell you this is how you have to be a friend to me.
And you don't
I don't
have to
think
tell
it's
me.
that. Yeah.
No, it can just be like, cool, innit? The years were good when they
were
Yeah.
good. I have fond memories, but I'm okay with
But I think if someone's sitting there, and that's in general terms now, if someone's sitting there sad, and then you know that you could reach out, but you're not, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
I think so. I think when it's sitting on you, or you keep on like replaying, if they called me, this is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Just put
Pick
your
up the
ego to
phone.
one side and have the convo.
But then I think if you've had that convo multiple times over multiple years,
That's different.
you can't keep repeating yourself.
Yeah, that's different.
You have to get to a point sometimes for both of you where it's like, I don't like your reaction to this and you don't like my reaction. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like what you do, you don't like what I do. What is the point of us dragging this
and
out?
that's like if it was a man.
It's also awkward when we're around each other now because we don't actually know how to be. So maybe we just don't be.
Don't be.
That's the horrible times, like when you know you're just in a weird space with a friend, and it's like, sometimes you just got to let that person
That's
go.
it.
You just got to let it go. And it's sad because I think definitely when me and a significant friend stopped speaking, there were moments because we had times together. So there's certain places I'd be like imagine if we just, and it would just be all the same. And then you have those moments, but then you realise that actually every good memory, there's a bit, and then they did that later on in the day. And it's like,
They were an arsehole.